It's with all of the books, and I'm here to do the popcorn tag. It's another tag created by Stripped Cover Lit, in which you are supposed to read the first paragraph of several books based on the school game or teaching strategy of popcorn reading. Now how I do that and how we do that here in the South, as far as I know anyway, is you choose a volunteer, and that volunteer begins the reading with the first paragraph, obviously, and then he or she can pick the next reader. Now my rule is you can read as much or as little as you want, as long as you stop at an appropriate stopping place. So at the end of a paragraph, or if it's dialogue, at the end of a dialogue line, before the next person change. And it's really kind of fun to watch the kids because they get into this. A lot of them will actually volunteer if the first paragraph is small because they don't want to read much. Then you have your typical reading hogs, as I was one who enjoy reading out loud and will read pages. And then you get the little friend groups that will read and look for a big paragraph and then nail their friend, and then they'll go back and forth, back and forth. It's really fun. I teach ESL, so my kids really get a kick out of it. It's not the best format of reading for reading comprehension, obviously, but they also need to practice pronunciation and fluency, so it's great fun for that, and they just honestly get into it. So I was tagged by Shawn the Book Maniac to do this, and he's also an ESL teacher. So we like languages and accents, and I definitely have one of those, an accent. So I'm choosing Southern literature. We've been talking about this lately, Shawn and I. So I've got some iconic Southern literature here that these are all favorites of mine. So I'm gonna do a fun spin on it where Kendra Winchester just posted a video yesterday, I think, where she talked about some of her favorite books and gave me the opportunity to guess what they were before she talked about them. So I'm gonna read the first paragraph, or in some cases I'll skip the prologue type section and read the first chapter paragraph or two and see if you can guess what they are based on the fact that they're Southern lit. The first four are extremely iconic classics or modern classics. The fifth is extremely well read's not the word. It was hugely popular when it came out. And then the sixth is a current BookTube darling. So jumping right in here with book number 1. Number your papers 1 through 6 and let's see how you do. Okay, number 1. When he was nearly 13, my brother Jim got his arm badly broken at the elbow. When it healed and Jim's fears of never being able to play football were assuaged, he was seldom self-conscious about his injury. His left arm was somewhat shorter than his right when he stood or walked. The back of his hand was at right angles to his body, his thumb parallel to his thigh. He couldn't have cared less, so long as he could pass and punt. Come on, you know that one, right? To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. Yes. Number 1 on Doris's all-time favorites. I love this book. Okay, book number 2. And this is skipping the prologue. When I was 3 and Bailey 4, we'd arrived at the musty little town wearing tags on our wrists, which instructed to whom it may concern that we were Margaret and Bailey Johnson Jr. from Long Beach, California, en route to Stamps, Arkansas, care of Miss Annie Henderson. Our parents had decided to put an end to their calamitous marriage, and Father shipped us home to his mother. A porter had been charged with our welfare. He got off the train the next day in Arizona, and our tickets were pinned to our brother's inside coat pocket. What do you think? Another great one, amazing, favorite, oh mine. Maya Angelou, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. Good stuff. Okay, number three. Number three, are you keeping up? Okay. Ships at a distance have every man's wish on board. For some, they come in with the tide. For others, they sail forever on the horizon, never out of sight, never landing until the watcher turns his eyes away in resignation, his dreams mocked to death by time. That is the life of men. Now women forget all those things they don't want to remember, and remember everything they don't want to forget. The dream is the truth. Then they act and do things accordingly. So the beginning of this was a woman, and she had come back from burying the dead, not the dead of sick and ailing with friends at the pillow and the feet. She had come back from the sodden and the bloated, the sudden dead, their eyes flung wide open in judgment. Ooh, what do you think? That one was a new favorite author, Zora Neale Hurston. Their eyes were watching God. Okay, number four. Number four, this one, yep. Here we go, here we go. April 7th, 1928. Through the fence, between the curling flower spaces, I could see them hitting. They were coming toward where the flag was, and I went along the fence. Luster was hunting in the grass by the flower tree. They took the flag out, and they were hitting. Then they put the flag back, and they were to the table, and he hit, and the other hit. Then they went on, and I went along the fence. Luster came away from the flower tree, and we went along the fence, and they stopped, and we stopped, and I looked through the fence while Luster was hunting in the grass. Here, Caddy, he hit. They went away across the pasture. I held to the fence and watched them going away. Listen at you now, Luster said. Ain't you something, 33 years old, going on that way, after I done went all the way to town to buy you that cake? Hush up that moaning. Ain't you gonna help me find that quarter so I can go to the show tonight? Ideas? This is another old favorite that I need to read again soon because it's been a long, long time. William Faulkner, The Sound and the Fury. Okay. Now we have the super popular when it came out, modern-ish book, ish, emphasis. Okay, this one skips the prologue. We came from Bethlehem, Georgia, bearing Betty Crocker cake mixes into the jungle. My sisters and I were all counting on having one birthday apiece during our 12-month mission. And heaven knows, our mother predicted, they won't have Betty Crocker in the Congo. Yeah? This was brilliant. Barbara Kingsolver, The Poisonwood Bible. And last, but not least, this is the current BookTube darling. Let's see how many have read it and recognize it. 1952. The morning burned so August hot, the marsh's moist breath hung the oaks and pines with fog. The palmetto patches stood unusually quiet, except for the low, slow flap of the heron's wings lifting from the lagoon. And then Kaya, only 6 at the time, heard the screen door slap. Standing on the stool, she stopped scrubbing grits from the pot and lowered it into the basin of the worn-out suds. No sounds now but her own breathing. Who had left the shack? Not Ma. She never let the door slam. Have you read that one? Maybe you should. Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. So how did you do? Tell me below. I would love to know. Did you guess any? Do you love any? Do you want to read any? Yeah. Thanks so much for watching, and I will chat with you soon. Bye.